So my project was looking at the physical stability of nifedipine HPMCAS 126 amorphous solid dispersion, or ASD. So what is an ASD? This is an active pharmaceutical ingredient, API, suspended in a polymer matrix. And this is done because a lot of APIs have very poor water solubility. And so in order to increase it, suspending it in this polymer matrix can greatly increase the water solubility of the API. And so when creating this ASD, you really have to take into account the physical stability, which is just looking at if and when crystallization of the ASD out of the API out of the ASD occurs. And so this is really defined by two things: the thermodynamic stability and the kinetic stability of the ASD. The thermodynamic stability is basically saying if crystallization will occur, and that's mostly based on the drug load, or percent of drug compared to percent of polymer, with higher percent of drugs being more unstable. The kinetic stability is looking at the molecular mobility of the ASD. And so this is really determining the rate crystallization will occur. And this is mostly defined based on how close the ASD is held to the glass transition temperature, which this is the temperature that the ASD goes from a glassy state to a rubbery state. And obviously, as it gets closer to this temperature, the molecular mobility gets higher. And so the TG is really based on two things, and that being the drug load as well as the RH, or water, the RH, relative humidity or water content in the sample. And so this is what we were really looking at the study, is how does drug load and RH affect the TG, and thus the kinetic stability, as well as we were looking to see if water had any independent reactions and other than just changing the TG of the ASD. So does it independently affect the kinetic stability? So what we saw was actually what we suspected at first, being that both a higher drug load and a higher relative humidity it stored at led to a pretty clear increase in or decrease in the glass transition temperature, and thus making the ASD more kinetically unstable. However, we saw that when isolating TG and just looking at the effect water had on the kinetic stability, we saw that water itself had some intermolecular interactions which caused more kinetic instability. And so this was not really known before, and what we were planning to look for in the future was how does water interact to create this more kinetically unstable ASD, as well as look at other polymer mixtures with nifedipine in our future studies. Thank you.